Outside the home, the school is one of the first areas where a child is absorbed into society. The school is also an agent of socialization dedicated to teaching a child the ways of the society. But what happens when the school becomes a fast route to the early grave for children as a result of violence and brutality under the guise of corporal punishments from teachers and caregivers in the name of instilling discipline in them? In this special report, Clearview TV's Gloria attempts to find answers.
Corporal punishment refers to intentional application of physical pain as a method of correction to bring about a change in behavior. Oftentimes, it is the use of physical force intended to cause pain but not injury for the purpose of correcting or controlling a child's behavior. In Nigeria, corporal punishments are widely acceptable to the extent that it is unthinkable that a child will be allowed to grow without physical discipline. The culture of disciplining children physically in the home transcends from the home to the school and other public spaces. In some communities, an adult may discipline a child for inappropriate behavior in public and upon returning the child to the parents with a report of what transpired, receive a warm welcome. More than 2 decades ago, flogging children in primary and secondary schools in Nigeria was still widely acceptable. This was irrespective of whether the school was public, private, or a missionary school. Today, the narrative is different as more and more people are paying attention to the effects of corporal punishments on the physical, psychological, and mental well-being of children. This is due to the rise in reports of young pupils being maimed and sometimes incapacitated by their teachers. Most disturbing is the story of a 19-month-old boy, Obinna Udeze, who died after allegedly receiving 31 strokes of the cane from his teacher in Delta State. Obinna's offense was that he got himself wet from playing with some water. As a correction, the little boy paid the supreme price.
As I was making noise, creating the scene for the teacher to come out, students from the class, pupils came out. I said, "Big mommy, our big mommy and uncle and one auntie that used me now with one hand, left hand and leg, and was fucking him like a goat." And I said, "Who is big mommy?" They pointed at the proprietress, the same woman I met last night.
The worry among many is, should corporal punishments like flogging and others still be tolerated in Nigerian schools?
For me, it is not the best way. It's not the best way. I think talking to a child, the best way a teacher can actually change a certain lifestyle from a child or have an listening ear from that child is for you to create a relationship with that student. Be more friendly.
I had never been in support of having to spank a child to correct him. What are you really going to? How would you spank a child that is less than 2 years? What are you going to? What will you gain from that? And if you ask me, there are better means to correct a child than spanking him. But you can begin to deprive them of, okay, maybe their playtime or some other very good activities.
I will not say that is the best way. In a civilized world, they don't even flog. If you flog, they may even go extra mile with you. Flogging may not be the best way of correcting a child in school. You can at least isolate that child, isolate him from others, make him to stand for a while. He will understand. Then you can bring him back. Do you know the reason why I asked you to stand? Because you did this and that. Therefore, don't do it again.
Some others think that the absence of corporal punishment will lead to an increase in moral decadence, thereby affecting the overall development of young people.
I don't subscribe to the idea that corporal punishment should be stopped. If you look at the professors these days, those people who say their children should not be flogged, should not be disciplined, during their own day were disciplined. That is why they were able to become maybe what they are today.
At the global level, more and more countries are introducing legislations to protect children from corporal punishments. Under Article 11 of the Child Rights Act 2003, Nigerian children are amongst the 42% of the world's child population who are legally protected from corporal punishments in schools. The implementation of the Child Rights Act in Nigeria will in the days ahead come under serious scrutiny following the death of Obinna Udeze after receiving 31 strokes of the cane from his teacher. So, what ought to be done to stop the age-long scars, physical and mental, that teachers leave on pupils and students? Gloria Atta reporting for Clearview Television.